Hi. So today's topic of discussion in the masterclass is what are the mistakes new managers make? So in order to understand this, I think we need to understand what are the top challenges or triggers that one faces when he or she joins newly into this kind of a role of a supervisor. So let me start with my own personal experience when I moved from an individual contributor role to a managerial role. So I have also faced several issues like accountability for others' work or unable to focus on my own work because I have to take care of others' work too. And how much attention to be given to each team member? How do you allocate time with respect to each team member? And then obviously the time management issues crop up. And then finally, one major issue which I felt very difficult to handle was how to defend team members in front of senior management when there are performance issues with respect to those team members. So my first role as a supervisor was as a branch head, supervising 5 team members in a sales role. So one of the team member who was very talented, but not good in terms of discipline. So he had issues like not very punctual, not meeting timelines, most of the time doing crisis management, firefighting, and obviously that results in lack of motivation because you're not able to achieve the things whatever are expected from that particular individual, and as a team also you are not able to meet the either timelines or meet the budget in that sales role. In another case, one of my team members was indulgent drinking habits that led to his exit from the company. And in that case, I was not able to do much about it. And I'll tell you what actually happened later. So I think we need to really understand that how should such problem be resolved and how one should act in a way that that is appropriate based on his or her understanding, and then how do we actually overcome those situations. So in the first case where I was having a person in the team who was not much disciplined and he was not understanding the real issue. So what I had to do was I had to do a one-on-one session with him, making him understand the importance of discipline. And also it was important that not just I should tell him in theory, but also uh, prove him prove to him that how time management and discipline to your work is important. So what I did was I took him to some distributor because he was basically taking care of the channel at that point of time. So I took him to some distributor visits and gave him some on the job experience by giving some examples and try to prove the point during those discussions so that he understand the gravity of the situation. Because the best thing what you can do is to take to their customer, take to their distributors who he was taking care, and that is the best way. In the second case, since I was new to the organization, and for that matter, even the HR guy who was dealing that case was also new to the organization, and we tried our best to salvage the situation. Did in this case also one-on-one session with a team member, spent some time with him, but it was kind of too late for that individual because he got involved in some case of indecency also after being drunk with a female colleague, and obviously that was just not acceptable, and we had to uh, fire him from the job, and that was a tough call both for me as well as the HR manager. So with that, I will just give you some idea about which are the do's and the don'ts for young professionals when they get into this supervisory role. I think the most important thing is people do have intrapersonal skills, but it's important to develop certain interpersonal skills. So I would say the 3 interpersonal skills which are very important. Like one is seek to understand others, tend to be understood. Uh, the second one is think win-win, and the last one is synergize with the team members. So work closely with the team members and have a coordinated effort. Other things could be not just try to become a manager, but become a leader. So you don't have just followers, but you can make more leaders out of your team. Be empathetic towards your team members, and I think the most important thing of 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 not just as a manager or not just as a leader, but as a as a as an individual also would be to communicate very well and have a kind of a transparency in terms of the communication, both from top to down and from bottom to up. And I think some of the don'ts are not doing walk the talk. Like, if you want people to be punctual to the office, you need to also be punctual to the office. Shouting on team member in a group meeting, favoring some individuals, not defending your team well in front of senior management, and lastly, not doing follow up with team member, expecting that everything will happen of its own. Some of the good practices and bad practices. Good practices could be discipline, punctuality. Sometimes servant leadership is a good tool to work initially with the team members, and celebrating successes as well as failures. And something to avoid would be a strict no is a micromanagement, that disturbing team members when they are on leave, not supporting in times of need, and sometimes showing an angry behavior. So I think this sums in total whatever I wanted to convey to the audience. And I would also like to just tell you that how do we ensure that these situations don't occur. So in my personal experience, and that's what I think, that it's mandatory to happen. These are very natural things to happen. If it is not happening, then there is some problem. Because the point is that nobody is a born leader or a born manager or something like that. It's basically you learn the tricks of the trade when you go on the job, and also you train through some kind of a skill development, and you get some kind of a hand holding from your seniors, or sometimes you learn from your juniors as well. I think this is all I have to share with you. Thank you.